You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the February 19th meeting of the Michigan City Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening. Welcome to the February 19th, 2025 Michigan City Park Board meeting. Would you please stand and join me in repeating the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Walker, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Glidden,
Here.
Miss Sperling,
Here.
Mr. Hoffman, here, Mr. Labus, here, and Miss Ward,
Here.
all present.
Thank you. We were given the minutes of the previous meeting. Any questions, additions, or corrections to the minutes of the February 5th meeting?
I would like to add that there was a mistake in the copy that you got. I still had Ms. Nuremberg present, and on the signer's copy, it is fixed. Yeah.
Thank you. I need a motion otherwise.
I motion to approve the minutes from the February 5th meeting.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Project updates. Do we have any project updates?
No, sir.
Table business.
I would ask that the board leave the soccer in the sand major event license on the table. Been playing phone tag back and forth with the promoter, so I don't have the information you asked for at the last meeting.
All right, thank you. New business. There's a zoo animal request for fallow deer. Jamie's here from the zoo.
Hi, Jamie Huss, Washburn Zoo. We request to ship out, relocate the 4 rabbits we have at the zoo. That way we can do some construction in the red barn to make some spaces safer from avian flu risk. And we want to bring in 5 fallow deer fawns this year because we have an aging collection. We want to keep the exhibit that was designed for fallow deer active, and it'd be a good time to do it now. Why we had an older population and a younger population to get them all united into one big herd. Any question, I can answer your questions.
Questions? Any comment from the public? What's the board's pleasure?
I motion to approve the zoo animal request for the fallow deer.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
We have the 2025 to 2029 zoo strategic plan. Jamie's still here.
And this is just the submittal of the 5-year plan that we started in 2015. We continue it going every year, updating the projects based on need, cost updates, expense, where we're going to take the money from. But we keep that going as a living document to kind of base up our future progress, not only for ourselves, but if we have possible investors or groups who want to help us grow. We have I guess a document that states what we want to do, so we're all on the same page. So if you have any questions, I can answer them for you.
Well, there's a lot of cool stuff in here that I know a lot. I want to tell you guys too, that my husband and my son were just in New Orleans and they went to the zoo down there, and they said besides the giraffes and the hippopotamus and the gorillas, that our zoo was just as good, if not better.
That's good to hear.
I just want to pass that on.
Thank
And
you.
they charge $30 to get in. So I just want to pass that on. How's it go? Like, of all the big projects that you want to do, is there one that looks like it could happen first? Or are you waiting on, funds, obviously funds, but I mean like grants, or how will this all kind of?
We try to do it based it on the dates below,
Mhm.
on not only on importance, but also funding.
Mhm.
But anything that can be moved around if we found a funding
Mm.
source to
Mhm.
push it up. Just like it can be
Yeah.
changed if another emergency need like avian flu came up and we had to move around. A lot of this has been added to since 2015. We've got past all the small projects. Now we're more to the major cost projects. Other than like lighting, we do as we grow
Yeah.
on new exhibits.
Yeah, I think it's important to note too that, several years ago when we did the big cat exhibit, Bryant just brought this up. Our goals were really set on rehabbing Monkey Island.
Mhm.
But because Jamie keeps track of all the legislation that's possible, not that it's going to happen, but it's possible. Well, she called that one right. Had we not switched our attention and focus to the big cat exhibit, the federal laws changed, we would have lost the big cats. That's a
Wow.
huge draw.
Wow.
So things get shifted in this plan depending on, what's going on in the federal and the state government.
Mhm.
Right now, avian flu. So we're looking at all the bird exhibits right now because we have to.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we lose collections.
Mhm.
So Monkey Island is a focus. I know that's like everybody's
Mm,
favorite.
Right.
And I think that's an easy one to fundraise for,
Mhm.
but it's been pushed back just because of that.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
And the word Wings of Wonder, that started. We're just in the design phase now, or
We're in the design phase. I think it's coming up on next meeting. It did come overpriced a little bit, which is just cost of inflation. So we're still working on trying to make that happen.
but it's almost mandatory that we do it because like she said,
To open that exhibit, it's probably mandatory because that is a small flat collection that would be very susceptible to avian flu. Since they eat the same thing that most wild birds do.
All right, thank you. Anybody else have a question? Any
Thanks for
comment?
everything you do, Jamie.
Thank you.
It's very thorough, very well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's any comment from the public? What's the board's pleasure?
I move that we approve the zoo's 24 to 25 strategic plan.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi,
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
we have am I right here? Veterans Alley Playground. No, it's okay.
I would ask that you table the Fetters Alley Playground project tonight. We've had 2 meetings since your last meeting, and we need to do some electrical updates before that's presented to you, and that'll be at your next meeting. That'll be 50% construction drawing approval.
We need a motion to table.
I'll make a motion to table the Fetters Alley playground project.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
We have the 2024 fourth quarter Park Department variance report. Would you like to speak or any questions or?
You run through it line by line.
I'm
please.
glad it's over. And the annual is finished today, so you will get that
Wow.
at your next
Cool.
meeting.
It's hard to sometimes look at the fourth quarter and you guys are really good about putting like why this is a lot more, this is a lot less. So it is nice to see the full year. I did have a question on the property insurance. And I know everyone's property insurance had gone up. Did general insurance try to check with other carriers?
So that's really out of our control. That's a
Oh.
function of
Oh.
the city controller's office. They do the insurance citywide.
Yeah.
We are self-insured.
Mhm.
So I really don't understand exactly how all that works. But the controller, negotiates the rates for our insurance annually, and then it's divvied up amongst the different departments.
Oh,
So we have zero control over auto
yeah.
liability.
Actually, I think we talked about this before because I think we have a lot on ours that isn't actually ours, right? With the property, there's something with insurance that it's not.
So general insurance is coming to our next staff meeting. If
Okay.
any of you want to attend,
When is that?
it will be the second Wednesday of March. 8:30 in the morning in the EOC. Is that our staff meeting? Third Wednesday. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's always board meeting day.
Okay, third one.
Anyway, we've asked Charlie Keene to come in and explain to us what self-insured means.
8 a.m.
8:30 in the
8:30.
EOC across the hall.
Yeah, okay, great.
So yeah, we
Because I
just
thought it
want
was just the health insurance that the city was self-insured. It's that too, property?
I don't really want to misspeak because we don't really understand it.
Okay,
That's why.
that's why he's coming.
have to
Okay.
come in
Okay,
and
cool.
try to
Yeah.
explain this to us to see if there
Okay.
is anything that we can do
Mm-hmm,
as a department to reduce any of our costs or risks.
yeah, okay.
I got a question about the zoo. Was up 23,000 over last year. Do we attribute that just to good weather or just being open more weekends or? On page 3,
Well, they were open an extra 2 months, right? Is that part of it?
They opened a weekend early last year for Easter, which was not a very good weekend. But they did do some sales and then they were open in November on the weekends. I'm trying to see here though, if they had an insurance check that came in. So if you look at the golf, like the golf revenue is way up, but there's $119,000 insurance check for the hail damage that we had. So that's inflating the revenue.
Hmm.
And can't remember if the zoos came in that same quarter. Actually, we're still working on hail damage. We haven't received all our money yet.
I'm on page 3 about 6 lines down. 7 lines down.
Well, yeah, variance of.
It's under Department
Yeah, I
504.
see the increase. I was just trying to see if they had insurance added in the fourth quarter, and I wish they did not. So yeah, that's just it's gotta be from being open and it was unseasonably warm through the entire
Mhm.
month of November.
There was.
Yes.
Did you find insurance? Yeah. They put it in revenue in the golf course. But it's listed in our variance under insurance revenue. For 119,000. So yeah, I'm guessing Jamie, that's just attributed to higher tenants being open longer.
That's good news.
It is.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board?
I want, the longevity pay was continually much higher in all the categories. What is that?
So longevity pay is given to employees for every 3 years of service.
Mhm.
So your first and second years, you don't get it. Your third year, you get, was it 450? They changed it this year. So 450. So it's $450 annually you'll get paid for each 3 years of service.
Okay, so maybe it's
It hits
the
third year for
a
people
lot of
or
people.
yes.
Yeah, okay. I was just curious what that was. And then the utilities, it was showing just a major increase, like 60%. Is that,
Across the board.
that's just
what we
NIPSCO, or is there
average.
any other? thing?
Some of, in the maintenance, some of the water
Well, that was
accounts were
different.
up and those were due to water main breaks or leaks that we'd found. But yes, NIPSCO averaged across the board was close to 60%.
Well, yeah, the water, that was a separate one. That was increased because of the splash pad, because of their break, right?
But we had leaks at Millennium Plaza. We had a leak at the amphitheater.
And that's part of
one
the
at
general
North Point
utility,
Pavilion.
not just water, affects the general utilities. 'Cause
No,
the
that would just
water was
affect
separate.
water. But yeah, as far
Okay.
as NIPSCO, yeah, it was up across the board.
60%.
Keep in mind, the first quarter of last year, we had 2 major snowstorms, an ice storm, so that probably attributed to some of the heating costs. But yeah, big increase.
Any comments from the public? And We'll entertain a motion to accept the report.
I move that we accept the fourth quarter report.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
We have the 2025 Kids Day Camp Park Board packet.
Yeah, you'll notice that no prices changed from this year to last year. I think we did a lot of good revamps of the program last year, adding a lot more field trips to what we did. This year, there'll be more field trips, but more trips to local parks. The biggest complaint that we got from last year was less arts and crafts. Let us go outside and play more. So, along with the Park Play program, we will be sending City Kids Day Camp around to parks more often this year than we did last year. But to kind of keep the wheel rolling, get more kids coming, we didn't want to raise the price any, keep it attainable. We're keeping, I think, 8 out of the 10 counselors that we had last year. Two are moving on, and we're looking for a new 2 to replace them. So, yeah, happy with the way that it's trending right now.
And with the expense is $59,000, but
Yes.
Then the income we have is
Nowhere close to that. Nowhere close to that 59,000. It's definitely a camp that's given for the city to the youth of the city. And would you say that?
I'm sorry, I was talking on last week in wages.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a camp that's given to the city. Even maxing out at 75 kids, we're like just under breaking even with that kid. If we had 75 kids all 8 weeks of the program.
Well, I think it's a great program.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Yep.
Any other comments from the board?
How many kids do we have participate last year approximately?
We have, gosh, that should have been on here, huh?
It's an annual.
We average 37 kids a week, but I would probably say only about 75 kids altogether. And that might be reaching a little bit, but overall 8 weeks. I mean, some come now that we have every week is kind of themed now. And now some kids that come for some weeks and not come for a couple weeks that they're not really interested in. But I think that opens up the door for more kids to come in just for a week. Like, oh yeah, I want to go to sports week, or I want to go to animals week. Like I want to be there for that. And that's okay. They don't have to be there every week, but it gives them something to do.
And what's the max amount of kids?
75 a week.
75.
25 per age group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were gonna change it up a little bit, two people were going to specific parks there.
Yeah, so with the Park Play program, we will have 2-3 people at a park in the morning time and the afternoon time every day that the weather permits. And that's actually hiring one extra City Kids Day Camp worker and mixing them into what is already going on with City Kids Day Camp. So if it's rainy outside, that person will just go directly to City Kids Day Camp and be an extra camp counselor for the day. If it's nice outside for part of the day, to be one less counselor at City Kids Day Camp because they'll be out at Park Play. And we'll rotate who goes out so nobody feels like they don't want to always do that, or they can always, I don't feel like being outside today, I want to be inside, put somebody else in there.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Any
Quick comment.
other comments from the board? Comments from the public?
I have a comment. Yep. And I just wanted to put out there, and I have this conversation a lot. See people post and say some things, and they're always talking about, you want to run your city like a business. In my mind, you cannot run a city like a business. Everything can't be for profit. You do things within their park department that, in order for the betterment of your city, I see them as investments. Like Will was saying, with so many kids, it's barely break even. Sometimes the city has to be willing to do an investment in certain programs in order to have things for our people to do here in the city. So that kind of drives me a little wild when I hear people all the time talking about running the city like a business, because not everything is a Fortune 500 company trying to make extreme profit. There are some investments you have to make in order to make your city better, make the quality of life better for your people in the city. So I hope some people heard that in the public, because I just wanted to stress that. Thank you.
Thank you. We need a motion for the packet, please.
Make a motion to accept the 2025 CKDC Park Board packet info.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Sorry.
We have the 2025 AED grant.
Yeah, so I don't need to see it. We are. The Health Foundation report always puts out grants every year for AEDs to try to help the community be more safe. And last year we found that we had a couple struggles with some of our AEDs, and we are looking for approval to fill out a grant to replace some of the AEDs that we're having issues with. That's simple.
So are these AEDs that we'd be requesting, are they going to be similar to the other ones? The question why I'm asking is, you know, sometimes you can have two different kind of AEDs that just
So the ones that we are getting are different only because the ones we're replacing are 16 years old.
oh
Yeah,
so that's the difference.
they're old AEDs and we need to replace them to get new ones. So we're getting different AEDs, more modern AEDs. I think the new ones that we got last year had Wi-Fi and connectivity on them. So now Shannon gets emails when the batteries are low or the pads expire. Instead of having our department heads go out and check them once a month, they'll send us in on their own. Yes.
Have we had to use them?
Besides the golf course last year. But that situation at the golf course makes the necessity of getting new and up-to-date ones even that much more important. You never know if you'll need it,
Of
but you
course.
definitely want it there when it's time.
How much are they?
25 to 3,500 a piece.
I just wanted to note too, with the new ones that have the Wi-Fi connectivity, IT's working on that. So right now it's not emailing me, but I can't wait till it does. But that's not in effect yet, but we hope that it will be soon.
Yeah.
Any other comments from the board?
I motion to approve the 2025 AED grant.
You do public comment yet?
Not yet. Any comments? Any comments? from the
Sorry.
public? All right. We'll let someone second that.
Me too.
Sorry,
I'll second it.
worth every dollar.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Reports from officers, the superintendent's report.
Yes, thank you. I would like to report that the retrofit project on the boardwalk on Singing Sands that I think I talked about at the last meeting, that's going to start next week. It's going to take 8 to 10 weeks depending on weather conditions, but we're looking forward to getting that fixed. I do want to remind the board that was a design flaw that was caught. And it doesn't have the proper vehicle load for Pat's team to come out with mowing equipment and such to maintain the property. So we are not paying for this. The design and engineer firm is paying for it. We're also working with the city IT department, which is now city IT and building. So they do construction now, which is great. So we're working with them to build a storage shed and install electric and security cameras at the Walker Street Community Garden. And that would all be paid for through the community development block grant that they have. So that's going to be a great addition to the garden. And then on February 13th, Will, Pat and I attended the first in a series of 10 town hall meetings that are being hosted by Mayor Angie all over the city. It was a great turnout. I counted 80 people here. So the chambers were packed. It's a great forum for the mayor to share information about upcoming legislation, for the department heads to answer questions about policy changes or upcoming events. Very, very well attended. I think that speaks a lot to our new mayor's ability to connect with the program and provide transparent government and people that will show up and answer your questions. So we were happy to participate, and either Will and I will be at all of the upcoming meetings, and then each of our directors have signed up to go to one of them as well. So we're looking forward to those. Regarding golf, we hired another PGA pro today. So he started this morning. He did attend our staff meeting. Allie Mellon, one of our administrators, who was the assistant golf manager last year. She's going to be meeting Mike and I out at the golf course tomorrow at 1 to start training. I am so grateful for Allie being here.
Say his name.
I'm Michael Nygren. Yes. I'm all worried about training this pro. I'm like, Allie. So yeah, Mike Nygren comes from Potawatomi Country Club. He's got over 30 years of experience as a PGA pro. So we're looking forward to getting him trained and up and running before our March 15th start open date.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was good news.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Mhm.
And then regarding golf as well, I'd like to congratulate our green superintendent, Michael Moore, who's here tonight. He successfully obtained his pesticide license.
Awesome.
Yay! We're going to continue with our spray tech contract throughout the 2025 season because he's also training an assistant superintendent. So we'll have 2 licenses, and beginning next year, we will no longer need those services, saving the department $40,000 a year. So that was great news, and he did it very quickly. Congratulations. And then we did have some vandalism on February 10th. It was graffiti at Pullman, and it cost $35 to remove. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The assistant superintendent's report.
Yeah, so last Saturday we had wine and canvas paint and pour event at Krieger Memorial Hall, and we had 7 attendees. The event still broke even with only 7 attendees, and we are planning another one. Well, there's another one that's already advertised for March 8th. So go to the Auto app and sign up, or call down to the park department, and we'll get you set up. Also, Chess Club has been going good. We had 21 people at Chess Club on Monday night. It was a really nice event. It was nice to see all the people that came out. We appreciate the Chess Club from the Senior Center. They came out, about 6 or 7 participants from their club came out to join, and it was a nice crowd. It was fun. I mean, it was quiet, but it was fun. Yeah. It was nice and it was nice and quiet. Continuing now with the baseball signups, the early bird discount is over as of Valentine's Day, but we still have people signing up, and we are excited about that. This week I had meetings with the YMCA and Michigan City area schools about starting a youth basketball program at the YMCA, operated by the high school basketball teams and supported by Michigan City Parks and Rec. That's looks for signups in the next few weeks. I mean, we already had talked about the basketball program, so it's finally taking that next step. You'll see a partner program agreement at the next board meeting. For that, also met with PFL, Paper Football League. We're a tournament for Paper Football League. It'll be coming to Krieger Memorial Hall pretty soon. They're going to be at the next board meeting. They are very excited. These 2 people are very excited about what they started, and it's like they're the first people to legitimize a league for paper football, and they've taken it very far, and I'm very excited about what's to come from it. You got something to say on paper football before I move forward?
I'm just 3-time paper football champion, so just wanted to throw that out there.
That's what I was saying. How many kids are going to lose
No,
at recess?
7th grade.
He said, I flick football, paper footballs, and pop pencils.
Pencils too.
But yeah,
Spitwads, anybody?
yeah, Spit Wads. But no, it's when I heard Paper Football League, I thought it would be something nostalgic that a lot of people would want to dive into. And I'm excited to give the citizens something else to do. Starting March 1st, there will be a hunt for a leprechaun in the parks. Lorcan, the Ludic leprechaun, will be hiding from everyone in parks. There's little yard signs of leprechauns that we're going to be hiding in the parks where people can literally go get the leprechaun, bring it into the park office, and get prizes. I have nice prizes. So if you find these leprechauns, you might want to bring them in. I'm not going to tell you what the prizes are, but you can find out if you find a leprechaun. And that would lead up all the way until St. Patrick's Day, which not on St. Patrick's Day, because with Leadership Laporte, we're going to the State House on St. Patrick's Day. So I won't be here that day. So the Friday before is when that will end. And I don't have the date with me. Also had a meeting today about parties at the plaza, down at Millennium Plaza, that we plan on doing on Tuesday nights. I think before we called it going up on a Tuesday. But I had to take that back because that song is copyrighted and I can't use that title. So Party at the Plaza is a whole lot better. And they'll be at Millennium Plaza every Tuesday all summer, and more information on that to come. Also had a meeting about adult basketball league happening in the summertime for this summer that'll happen at Barker. So a lot more information about upcoming events and leagues and classes and clinics. Thank you everybody in the community who's reaching out that want to be active and run programming. Really appreciate that everybody's kind of stepping up right now. And that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Sounds a lot of new things going on. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
Super cool.
Quick question for Will.
Yes.
Can you tell how many people have gotten into the auto app and have done things through that? I know you've been talking about it and hopefully people are using it.
Yeah, so me and Melissa were just talking earlier. We had just under 100 kids sign up in the first month for the early bird baseball. So I think it was 97 kids signed up during the early bird time. That's good. We've had people sign up for chess club. We've had people sign up for the pouring paints. I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's all that we have for the auto. But I think that's besides the craft corner, which we didn't get a lot of interest in. Everything else, I mean, everything else going through auto app has been it. And even people calling about how to sign up for things, we just tell them, they say, I'm having an issue with baseball. Oh, you're still using Jarvis. We're not on Jarvis. Can you download this app? And then you never hear from them again. It pretty much takes care of itself. There's been a couple small problems here and there, but nothing that anybody's thrown a big fuss about. So I think from my end, setting up leagues and stuff on a platform like that is very easy to do compared to how it was before. And I think Melissa and I are both seeing benefits from using it for signups for the leagues and stuff as far as baseball so far. So so far good. So far real good.
Thank you.
Financially is better. Next time you say something, I'm making you come up to this microphone. Financially is better. It's much gooder, as Mr. Hoffman said.
Planning Commission liaison, Mr. Hoffman.
The planning commission will meet on the 25th, Tuesday, sir.
I'm the Port Authority liaison. They met last week, but they didn't have any business that pertained to the park specifically. Mr. Labus, I don't know if you had a chance to learn anything about the Zoological Society. I don't think they meet again till March.
Yeah, they haven't met. I think they are meeting in March, and Mr. Stimley is going to get me a list of their events for this season. And I'll get those two hopefully for the next meeting.
Thank you. The attorney's report,
Thank you. I don't have anything to report.
director's report,
There are none.
Department Finances, Mrs. Sperling.
Okay. So tonight, for February 19th, the Michigan City Park Department claims docket, municipal wages, $71,134.30. Golf petty cash, $2,886.25. Zoo casino. It says zoo. $561.90. Total claims, $74,582.45. I move that we pay our claims.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, payroll number 3, for 2025, that's January 19th to February 1st, pay date February 7th. Total payroll is $65,000, $753.54. I move that we pay our people.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And then we have, let's see here, the Department of Finances, gifts and donations. Moore's Auto, park donation, youth baseball team sponsorship, $400. Weber Dentistry, park donation, youth baseball team sponsorship, $400. LPCCVB,
LaPorte County, Convention and Visitor Bureau.
thank you. Park donation per NSA BPA MOU, $10,000. Wix.com, zoo donation, miscellaneous online, $85.63. And Your Way Handyman, park donation, youth baseball team sponsorship, $400. Minor,
We should
sorry.
accept.
Okay, I move that we accept the gifts and donations.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Minor transfers, none. Zoo endowment, invoices totaling $561.90 were paid to Lowe's for the avian and barn yard fence repairs. I move that we approve this invoice.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Board of Works, nothing at this time, and credit card charges, none. Thank you.
Any comments for the public?
This is Tommy Kolovic from 1316 Ohio Street. Good evening, distinguished and honorable park board members. I'd like to get another update on the status of the fountain at Millennium Plaza. I know we've had our series of workshops and discussions, and I really feel nothing's ever come out of that. I know our choices are between demolition or restoration. I'm on the camp that it needs to be demolished and all filled in so we can open that space up for our public events, for like our concerts we have there. I think those are real nice. Like I said before, I really don't think there's too much historical value there. That was put in back in 1999. That was one of Mayor Sheila Brillson's crowning chief. The real history there, that was the site of the Smith Brothers Cough Drop Factory, which closed in 1959 and was demolished in 1966. After that, the city got that property. They used that to stockpile their rock salt that they, used to put on the roads in the wintertime. If you go, there's real nice historical photo site Stuart Mickard runs called Historical Photos of Michigan City. He's actually got pictures of that on there. And I just think that's what we ought to do with that and where we ought to go at. Last thing anybody wants is just have this non-functional piece of infrastructure sitting there for the rest of our lives. That's just my thoughts on that. Just like to find out what's going on with that. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could comment, please. We did have the assessment done by Hazen Associates, and then we called in a fountain company out of Chicago Fountain. So they came out and did a couple of assessment visits, and we just received their assessment, so we're reviewing it right now. So we are working on it behind the scenes, and we are collecting public input as well. You're welcome.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Any comments from the park board? I have nothing. I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. President.